podcast, couple beers and a conversation. We're here to discuss everything rock and roll from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and on through today. The hosts of the show are Zag, Ness, and Curtis. Take it away, guys.
All right, hey, we're back. How's it going, guys?
Good.
We're back for another episode here. And Mike's already cracked open another beer. He's ready to roll.
Why not? Why not? I got my gardening done. I'm ready.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Real
It's
rock
cracking
and roll.
a beer. 6 o'clock in the morning and cracking a beer.
The sun's just coming up. He'll be up here in a moment. Mike's
drinking
like
coffee, he's drinking beer.
There you go. Yeah, no, I'm German. It's what we do.
take a little of the Irish. You got some
There you
Irish
go.
in you.
Can you
Pour that
speak
in
any
your coffee.
German in this thing? For the German people?
No. Als Wiedersehen, Schlafen in the Bahnhof,
Stroh's beer.
Stroh's Bohemian.
Stroh's Bohemian style.
I don't even think I know a German word.
All right. So what have you guys been up to? Been doing anything crazy recently or listening to anything? Mike, do you have...
Yes.
I'm just... Okay.
Mike burned me or copied me 4 or 5 LPs of Thunder Mother.
Thunder Mother.
The Swedish metal band, all-female metal band.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think it was 4 or 5 of them. I'm only like
yeah,
a quarter of a way
something
through
like
them. And it's not bad.
Really?
We saw him open for the Scorpions this year, and it was different. It wasn't derived or anything. It was pretty well played and stuff. So I kind of piqued my interest and went on YouTube, saw some of their videos, which are great because they're not like production videos where they got them riding a horse or whatever. They're actually all pretty much performance videos or live, so that's even better. Cool. So I got halfway through those, and just AC/DC vibe, a little bit of Crocus, something like that. Kind of just, not too overly experimental or over the top, but just good, straight, solid rock and roll.
All right.
I think I mentioned to you guys a couple of weeks ago that I got the new Winery Dogs CD.
Okay.
It's really good. Anybody that hasn't heard them, it's a great band. 3 guys.
Yep. I've
Mike
heard some of the
Portnoy,
music. Yeah, I've heard
Richie Kotzen, and Billy Sheehan.
Yep.
And the new album's really good.
Okay.
Really good. I really like it. So they don't get a lot of airplay. You might hear them on XM or something like that, but
Right.
good band, man.
A lot of the radio stations don't really play.
Well, Richie Kotzen's been around a long time. He's got like 10 solo albums out, but his big thing was he was in Poison for one album.
For a short
but
period of time.
he's a great guitar player.
Well, he got kicked out because he was banging Ricky Rockett's wife.
Well, isn't that kind of the thing, right? It's rock and roll, right?
It's part of
that was
being
a long
rock
time
and
ago.
roll.
Well, it doesn't really, it doesn't elongate your career.
I think he's married now, so I don't think he's a threat to anybody.
Got it.
But no, it's a
I
good
don't think
album.
he's a threat to anybody.
He's a homebody. He does his show, then he goes
That'll
home,
settle
right?
you right down. Yeah, because the marriage. These rock and roll stars are married. That keeps them.
Kurt, I'm afraid to hear what you've been listening to. It was bluegrass last time, or a couple times ago.
Actually, I'm having nothing out of the ordinary, but I did pick up a book recently. I just started reading
music.
it.
You can read?
Yes, I can, and it doesn't have pictures. This is all words.
It's
Man,
a coloring
notice.
book. It's a coloring book.
He makes his own pictures.
Yeah, no, it's
Heavy
called-
metal coloring book.
It's called the book's called Right of the Dial: The Rise of Clear Channel and the Fall of Commercial Radio. It's not bad. It just shows how
Who's
Clear
the author?
Channel and a lot of these big corporations kind of bought up a lot of multiple radio stations in various markets and kind of control how you're going to be listening to music and just a lot of things
Yeah,
like
they
that.
play a
with it.
loop.
Who's the author?
I can't
question,
remember right now.
I mean, is it somebody in the industry, or is it just somebody outside of the industry, or just
I think
a writer?
it's someone outside the industry, but he interviewed a lot of people.
Okay, so it's just not his opinion. He's
No,
actually got,
this is He's got interviews with people.
All right. So it's just not one man's opinion going, well,
No.
this is how I feel. It's
How'd you
gonna
find out
happen.
about that book?
I don't remember how I found out because I had the book for like a year now or whatever. I just finally pulled it out of my stock from the back in thing. I was like, well, let me grab this. I haven't,
That's
and I
like
just
that
started
DVD.
Well, he had to read it because the library kept harassing him to bring it back. So he said, oh, shit, I better bring it back before these fines are really piling up.
That's like that DVD I got. They were talking about one somewhere, or I read about it. Was the rise and fall of the Big 8 CKLW?
Okay, yeah.
That was a good DVD.
Oh, I would
Really?
read that.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I better read it.
How AM was it at the time? You know?
Oh, yeah. There was, up through...
AM was kind of like the FM as
Yeah.
far as as far as all the music and everything else, because FM really
I
wasn't.
mean, that's
really
when you
a
had to
thing
go
yet.
down there and tell them
Yeah.
play this, and they
Yeah.
beg them to play it, and got
Well,
all the
that's where
stories
Rosalie
behind.
Trombley made her.
Yeah.
Fame
All those
there.
guys, even Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, and like say Bob Seger, I mentioned stuff about her
Yeah.
being the person that if you can get her to play it, you're gonna break.
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna save this for later, but it's kind of timely. What do you guys think of the Mick Mars lawsuit? Did you guys hear about that?
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, the first part of it, okay, I get it. You're mad and stuff. But what about the allegations that he's saying Nikki Sixx did not play any bass and Tommy Lee's most of his drum was pre-recorded? And that,
Well, you can go-
We knew Vince Neil's vocals recorded, but what the hell does that mean if your bass player is not paying any notes? And he said,
Yeah.
you could see it on some of the shows as picking hands actually in a fist when he's up
Right.
in the air.
Well, yeah, pumping
It's
his
like,
fist.
what
and-
the hell is
Well, there's
that?
videos now out on YouTube where you can see it.
That's what I heard.
How
That's-
They're playing
pervasive
the
is
click
that?
tracks, and they're not even playing.
Yeah, how pervasive do you think that is
But
with
they've been
everybody?
saying that about Motley Crue for a while, that they
Really?
haven't been playing
Oh,
live.
why
They've
does
been
it play
using
bass?
backing tracks for backup vocals. Now it's real bad. There's a video of Vince Neil where he walks away from the microphone and the vocals are
Folks
coming
still
out.
going. Really?
It's bad. But the whole thing's about money, that lawsuit. I mean, he wants 25% of his cut. They want to
Yep.
give him 5%. And
Right, yeah.
It's all about money.
Yep.
I understood that part.
It's
And I
kinda
knew it was a
shitty what they're saying about it.
right. I knew that. I knew it was a money grab. I was just shocked by the allegations that
Yeah.
basically nobody played any instruments on the tour.
Yeah.
And it was basically
Apparently,
four
he's
guys.
the
You and
only
I,
one that
us,
was
we could
kinda
have went up
playing.
there and played that Motley
And
Crue song.
that was
Yeah.
one of the reasons why he wanted out. He said he was playing.
Yeah, I heard he was
The
playing.
other
He was doing
stuff
all the
was
stuff
all
live.
tracked, and I guess the drums he was playing a little, but
Yeah, he
still-
said the drums weren't that bad. It wasn't all the time. It just sounded like Nicky barely played bass at all. But how hard is it to play bass
You
for Motley
probably-
Crue?
Well, this way
You're not doing.
you don't
you're
have
not
to put
doing
an
Rush
effort.
stuff. It's not Geddy Lee stuff
Yeah.
where you're trying to. He's playing bass and a foot pedal, piano and stuff.
Well, you don't have to put an effort in. You
don't
just
have
know
to
you go out
practice.
there.
You
Yeah, you don't have to do it.
just show
yeah.
up and
you
just
don't,
stand
you don't
out
have
there
you
and
don't have to
run around.
you don't have to
I
remember
think
any of the
it's terrible.
songs.
Can you stand for 2 hours? We can make you a rock star. Just stand there.
What about remember, their tickets weren't cheap?
No, that
like
was
$300.
Yeah, that was a.
I'd
I'm
be
not
pissed.
Yeah, I mean that was touring with them and Def Leppard and stuff like that, and I kept seeing posts on like Facebook and stuff like that 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 Motley Crue was the worst of the worst of the
They
group.
said the Comerica Park thing. The
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
was so muddy and so horrible that people were
that
just walking out.
Yeah, I mean
They didn't
lucky-
clean the tape heads.
Head cleaner.
They didn't use that head cleaner
Yeah.
tape. Remember those?
Yeah, I remember.
They
that.
demagnetized
Yep,
the head.
demagnetize it.
Did
Yep,
that
taking
really do
the
anything?
solution and rubbing it on there. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I remember them days.
Yeah.
God. All right. Oh, we are stopped now before we get
Kind of
into
leads
8
in.
tracks.
Well, we're going to talk about
tracks.
live albums. It
There
kind
you
of
go.
leads into that.
Yeah, we're at the topic for today is live
Yes.
albums, which they were some of them originally issued on 8-track. I'm sure you still got some, not right, Ness? I know.
Yeah, I think
You got-
Kiss
I know.
Alive came out on a double 8-track.
Really?
Yeah, and so did Live 2. I know I had the Live 2 on an 8-track. Why I had an 8-track? If you think about it, that's just a
They're
horrible.
bringing 8 tracks back out.
Yeah.
It's a horrible medium.
Who's, actually, I've heard that Metallica is
Yeah.
releasing their thing in album, CD, and cassettes. This
See,
new
I
album.
got no problem with cassettes.
And it's supposed to be this big giant box thing or whatever, and something that's going to be a big promo.
Someone just
but
did it. Someone just released. I think Cheap Trick did their last album on 8-track.
really,
Somebody did,
wow.
and now more and more are going to start doing it because it's a collector thing.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
It's not because of playing it.
Right? They probably just want to.
Yeah.
To this day, there is still a part in Seasons of Weather in my head. I can hear it where it clicks over from channel to channel.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it'd be a song would go, "Kitchi,
Yep.
kitchi." Every time I hear Seasons of Weather, I go, I know exactly where that click is, where it went from channel 3 to channel 4.
Yeah. There's, I think the Heart Little Queen album did something like that, I think, too. Or you
It
can,
just sticks in your head.
or you can, if you want, you get to the end of one song and you hit the track forward, even though there's still another song left on that side, you can jump to the next track and pick up another song that was kind of like, you know.
You could always tell which album was good or sucked because the label would get worn off.
Yes. Yeah.
The picture and the label would get all worn off if you kept playing it.
Or
a lot.
you played-
If you didn't play it, it was good, so you knew what album sucked or what was good.
Or if
Right,
you
yeah.
kept it, if you kept it in the sun and stuff, it would kind of crumple up and then just
Yeah, in your
peel
car.
off.
Yep, in your car.
And then you had to take a pack
But
of
why would
matches
you want
and
to go
stuff.
back to that?
Yeah, put a pack of matches in there to wedge it because sometimes the tape thing wouldn't sit right. It's like, oh my gosh.
I forgot
Things
about
we
that.
would do.
Cassettes too. You'd put a toothpick in there to hold the tape
Yep,
up.
yep. Sometime when the tape would go when you play it so much that the tape would get a little worn out.
I like the flexibility of cassette though, because you could pretty much put whatever you want on there.
Yeah.
Pre-recorded one, not so much because it seemed like those seem a little bit shorter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like the blank cassette, well, you could just put anything you want on there. You can make your own list, you make up your own album and stuff. And I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
And we talked about it, I think, in the first one about, we would record stuff off the radio.
Yeah.
So it gave the freedom to do that.
The original Spotify blank cassettes that you made, took albums and stuff.
There
and
you go.
yeah.
See, we were ahead of the curve, our
Yes.
generation. We just
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
figure out what we were doing.
All right.
We'd have somebody else monetize it for us. Okay. So
so-
let's start.
Yeah, topic of the is live albums and
You want to lay down the ground rules is what we're actually grading these things on? Or
go ahead.
You're going to let me do it?
Yep,
Okay.
I'll let you lay it on the ground.
I'm just saying it can't be a bootleg because I've got millions of bootlegs that sound great to horrible, but those aren't commercially released. Can't be, I'm thinking, we all know also that all these live albums weren't necessarily recorded in one venue. They've been split up over 3 or 4 different locations. We also realized, too, that they may have been doctored in some way, shape, or form. So it's just basically a real simple what live albums really captured the band or the live experience for you for that particular, LP that you got.
Okay.
So it's not really rocket science. It's more of a what album you put on really makes you go, yeah,
Right.
that type of thing, as opposed to analyzing and say, well, no, I remember they did this and this, and they doctored this and this, and it wasn't recorded in one spot. It was recorded in 4 different cities, and they just put it all together. No, this is just one of those albums, just boom, put it on and let it go.
Got it. Well, we could make it rocket science if you want to. I'm sure
Well,
we can go that
no,
way,
I
but-
can't.
Okay.
I'm not that
We
smart.
don't have time. So who's starting?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm starting.
I've talked
Yep.
enough.
Okay. Well, this one probably isn't a surprise because I think we've all had it, and it was one for me because it was my first. I went to see Aerosmith. Was my first concert.
Okay.
So I loved the live, and it's called live bootleg, but it's not. But that album, even though it's recorded in different spots, I thought it was an awesome album. You can't even tell. Except for a couple of the songs, because you read the liner notes where they were recorded.
Yep,
But I just
yep.
thought, and then from what I understand, listening to Jack Douglas, nothing was modified. That was all raw live stuff that they didn't do anything in the studio to fix it.
Okay.
And so you can almost smell the marijuana coming off of it. I mean, when I
Yeah,
went to
well,
Aerosmith, I
you
was
can
like,
hear
oh
the
my
firecrackers. You can hear the
Yeah.
cherry bombs going on.
God. Well, when I remember
Yeah.
going to see Aerosmith, it was the first concert. It was just like a cloud.
That was what, the
dope,
Draw the
man.
Line tour? You saw?
Yeah. Well, I was actually in between Rocks and Draw the Line. It was a tour they did before Draw the Line came out.
I thought you had a Draw the Line T-shirt from that show, though.
No, I had the one with the gold logo on it.
Okay.
It's the plain. They still sell that one. It's like
Oh, really?
yeah.
Kurt had the Iron On from the Macomb Mall from
Yeah,
the
the
Midnight
very-
Special.
Yes.
That was yours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the very first
one
album.
kind of like this. It kind of puckers up, and it just kind of just looks like hell after about 5 washings. And then just fades totally off into nothing.
Yeah.
So you got this little plastic badge in the front of your shirt. Way to go.
But yeah, that's they don't make them like that, and they
No.
touch
Yeah,
them up
but-
too much. That one just, I think it really captured their,
Yeah,
their
I mean,
live
and yeah,
sound.
that was that. Yeah, that was a great album.
Boy, that was Aerosmith too. That's what they were live.
Yes,
they were
that was-
sloppy, and
Yeah.
it came across on the record perfectly. I thought it was perfect. It was all over the place. It just sounded as goofy as they were. Not goofy. I mean, it sounded sloppy, as kind of unfocused as a lot of their live shows could have been.
Yeah.
I could have did without the side for Mother Popcorn,
Yeah, that's-
James Brown thing.
Yeah.
But I see that it just shows what they were doing.
That kind of
That's where they
grows
were at.
on you, though.
Mother Popcorn?
Yeah, I think it's a good. You got to listen to the whole album through.
No,
you're not,
you do.
You're not just gonna. Yeah, if you listen to that whole album, it kind of flows through.
Yeah.
It's kind of a period in time where I think it's kind of different. It's cool.
Oh, I know. I just that's the only part of the album that I thought.
You'd rather have
kind
another
of-
song.
Yeah. Okay. I thought
I'm not gonna argue that.
the train kept a rolling was just a tour de force.
Yeah.
I mean, the way it goes through, and he goes through the Strangers in the Night
Strangers in the
guitar
Night.
solo and stuff. That, and you could tell that wasn't clear either. That was kind of muddy and stuff. You could tell that was that was a very, very good live album.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
Okay. Who's next?
Okay. I have one that is from probably one of my favorite guitar players.
Please
Gary.
don't tell me it's Dan Fogelberg.
No.
Okay.
Nope. No.
Does he have a live album?
Yes, he does.
Oh God! Don't no.
Yes.
Go on.
And-
I'm sorry.
how do they-
to interrupt.
how do
I just
they-
wanted to be pre-warned.
But did they
If it
record?
was going to
Is
where they record it?
But
Well-
is there a
Well,
crowd
no, see,
noise in
well-
a Dan Fogelberg
There's a
show?
couple-
Or
well,
is
see,
it just people
clap.
snoring?
Actually, the interesting part about the Dan Fogelberg, because
here
I'm
we
like,
go.
well,
God.
I'm doing some. I got to start re-listening to some of my live music that I haven't listened to in a while. So I went to go grab my Dan Fogelberg disc,
Yeah.
and where it was sitting in the library, there was a space there, and it was gone. But there was a
Somebody
note.
stole
There
it.
was a note there, and I opened it up, and it said, "Hey, just borrowing this. I'll have it back soon, Zag." So I'm figuring.
That's right. I did borrow it.
Yeah, so I'm figuring when we talk about
did
when we
not.
talk about Dan Fogelberg, you
Dropped
can.
it in the bonfire. I forgot.
Wow, he set you up on that.
He did.
That
it was a good one.
that was very good. I was on the edge of my seat. I'm going,
I can't even name one song from the guy.
I'm just trying to think what a live experience would be. I mean, he's got to sing louder than the snoring, right? You gotta,
How'd they record it even? Because he didn't plug into an amp.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he had stacks, man. He had Marshall stacks all over the place.
All right, what's your live album?
My loud mouth
hilarious.
is Gary Moore. We Want More.
I got that one.
And actually, what was great about it is half that album was actually recorded at Harpo's, and I was actually at that show that time. And it
Did
was
you
a
scream
fantastic.
on there so you can yell?
Yes,
make
actually,
yourself heard?
if you yes,
Go,
if you,
Babaloo.
yes, Babaloo. That was it. That was.
Mike's on the Live Rocket, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We yelled Babaloo.
Oh yeah. So, but that's So if you're listening
You
to
went to
that,
that show with us, didn't you?
what the Rockets
A
one?
group of us. We went
Yeah.
down with my cousin Patty
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had
Down
really
at-
good seats.
Yeah,
Really.
at the Royal Oak.
okay,
Yeah, we had.
yeah.
But no, the Gary Moore one. It was a fantastic show that I was there, and when I got the live album and bought it and opened it up and found out that half of it they recorded there, the other half was recorded over in Norway and a couple other spots
Right.
in England. But no, it was a fantastic show. He was on fire that day, and he even opens up, talks that he's in Detroit and says, hello Detroit, recording a live album and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But no, that's one that was,
In fact, I think you might have made a copy of that for me.
yes I did.
Yeah.
Yes I did.
Because that was really good.
that's illegal.
Victor with a few.
That's illegal.
What you just did with Thunder Mother was illegal too. You burned all their damn catalog. I didn't buy a damn thing. They got no royalties from me or money from my
I came
ass.
after you.
But no, yeah, actually, I lost my train of thought for a second.
Oh, it got derailed.
Yes.
Okay.
But
all right.
no,
All right. We have a hand raised in the back there from the lady from St. Clair Shores there who actually does our intro, a Miss Lisa. And yes,
Best live album,
yes.
Frampton comes along.
Oh, that's
We're
on
going to
my
get
list.
to that.
we'll be
yeah.
getting there. We'll be
yeah.
getting there.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay. All right.
Just checking.
Okay. All right. Over here.
Or what was isn't there a Bob Seger live?
Yeah,
Live
there's another one too.
Yep.
Another classic.
That's it. I'm done.
Another classic. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
All right. I had Thin Lizzy, and I can't figure out which one. If it's Live or Dangerous
and
or
Dangerous.
Live. Both of them are really, really good.
I had Live and Dangerous.
The first one, the Live and Dangerous is pretty much a retrospective of where they were at right at that point, and the big hit, obviously, Jailbreak, Cowboy
Boys,
Song. But the second one, live in '83, when they brought back everybody else for, I think, Black Rose and stuff, but it actually had like there was more Thin Lizzy heavy metal. It had like Thunder and Lightning on there, Waiting for an Alibi. I mean, that was really good. So it was kind of really cool because like two phases of Thin Lizzy when they were kind of still just kind of a regular rock and roll band. And then later on, toward the end, when they were starting to move more metal-ish and less,
Yeah, when John Sykes was in the band.
Yeah, John Sykes really put a boot up their backside on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I can't decide between the two. I did put both on, just put it on. They're really, really good live albums. And you can feel the energy, hear the energy on there and stuff. And Phil Lynot's got some nice little raps on there where he's says, anybody out there got any Irish in them? Anybody else want? Any of you girls want a little bit more of them? Good move.
Yeah.
And he also name checks Bob Seger on the first one,
yes.
right? Yeah. He says,
Yeah.
This is an old Bob Seger song.
Yeah.
He goes into Royal Rosalie.
Yes.
So there you go. I thought that was kind of cool too.
Yeah.
That's the second mention of Bob Seger today.
Look at that.
There you go.
All right. We're on our way.
And you're all excited about that, aren't you?
Oh, we'll get to his album.
Okay.
He's got two of them, too. You know that.
Well, there's only one real good one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about 9 to Night.
Yes.
Oh, that's all right. Good pull.
How could you forget about that?
Because it wasn't good. All right, now it's your turn.
I'm going to go with, these are hard. I can't rank all these because there's some of them are, really good. But Jay Giles, Full House. And you can go into Blow Your Face Out too because they're both great albums. But Full House was the first one, and and you can just again feel the energy from that show.
Black album cover.
No, it's
The deck of cards. The deck of cards.
Full House cards.
Yeah.
Well, that's the single. The other one's a double one, right?
Right. Full House is a single album.
Yeah, that's the one that was recorded at the Cinderella. Ballroom.
Cinderella Ballroom, yeah.
So that's why you can feel that energy because it's that.
Yeah, you can't. And there was gonna be a re-release of that where they were gonna. I guess they did 3 shows. They recorded them all.
Okay.
Rhino had it packaged and everything, and Peter Wolf put a nix on it at the last second.
Boy, I miss those guys.
And I thought that would have been really cool.
Oh, that would have been nice.
All the
Yeah.
tracks that they played.
Yep.
Boy, that
For
was
some, probably money again, and it was printed. It was ready. They had a picture of. I was going to order it. It was almost ready to be ordered. And at the last second, he said nope, wouldn't let it go out. So we were stuck with just the original. And most of the times, the original's the best anyway. I mean, the extra stuff's cool. But I think that and then they came out with Blow Your Face Out, which, is good. But I don't, you can tell that this Full House album was, there was a lot of energy in that show. It was packed.
I tell you, if you could just be able to record a party, it would be a Jay Giles concert. Those things are always just nuts. I've never seen a band that had so much energy from start to finish. I mean, maybe it was because we were in Detroit and maybe they tried a little bit harder. I don't know. But it just seemed like these guys never half-ass anything. I mean, everything
And they always
came out there.
sounded good.
Yeah, they really do.
They're great musicians.
Yeah, they really were. They're criminally underrated.
I mean, I'd be
really
shocked if I ever heard
underrated.
that they were, playing fake stuff and all these old bands like that,
Those,
Well, they didn't have the technology to do that back then.
True.
Yeah.
True.
They actually had to play. They couldn't play tapes.
Yep.
Like, shit, we got to play. No, that's a good pull. I've always had a soft spot for Jay Giles.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Kurt's turn.
Wow. I've got a few more here. Actually, the one I was probably going to. Wow. I got quite. Okay. Actually, I'm going to have to say Leonard Skinner, One More from the Road. I know everybody's heard it.
Working for the MC.
It's.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. It's
Actually,
something. It's
I think
one.
you burned that for me as well.
Jeez, oh man.
I know. I'm a
You're going to get
criminal.
them put in prison.
Yes.
You too. I'm bringing you down with me.
No, it's just, that one there is that was the one where Steve Gaines just joined the band shortly before.
Of jamming on that.
And
in a good way though.
Yes, and they were on fire. They were, that was just before Street Survivors was released. And you could tell that they were on the way. Just on the way, ready to roll.
Tight.
Yes.
Real, really tight. Yep. Even the jams, like I said, When you say jam, sometimes you think, oh my gosh, it just goes on forever and ever. Like the Allman Brothers could sometimes go that route.
Yeah.
But I mean, that Skinner, their jamming was pretty tight. It seemed like everybody had a set part, and you did your thing, and you got in, got out, or you weaved in and out and stuff.
Well, you know what's funny?
It was pretty.
Some of those older
pretty
live
good.
albums, when it comes to the jamming, they shortened them when they put them out on CD. Like REO Speedwagon, the first live album.
Okay.
What's it called?
Regis.
The blue cover.
Yes.
the
You
Philbin
you
guy
get
on
you
there.
get what
When
you
it
play
came
for.
out on
You get what
CD,
you play for.
They took out the guitar solo, Gary Rickrath's guitar solo out of it. So on CD, there was one edition they released
Which one
in
would it
Japan that has that. All the CDs they take that out, and there's a note on it that it's omitted.
So what's the guitar solo? Flying Turkey Trot? Is that the one where it?
I don't remember what song it is.
Or not
Or
that
Riverside,
Riverside
Riverside,
Avenue,
15, 17
where it's got
Riverside
the big
Avenue.
Cut
long
out.
rap that goes into
Yeah.
it.
There's a couple of
Smoking
those
a big
old
old
live
J.
albums or where they cut tracks out or cut portions
Yeah, I know that
out so
they-
they could fit it on a CD.
Yeah.
And I think it might. I think that Skinner album might have one too.
Well, I know it's a double. Wait, is this no?
There's a
It's a
couple
double.
editions. I think there's an edition where they did edit it.
Yeah. Okay.
If I remember.
Well, we talked about that, I think, the first episode, too. That Stevie Ray Vaughan's The Album live album,
yeah,
as
the last
opposed to the
song is-
CD. Yeah,
The last they omitted a song on
the
that,
song got cut because of that.
just so they could put it on a single
Just so they
disc
could
instead
cram
of
it
double
in there.
disc.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it gives them an excuse to re-release it, and you have to buy it again.
Yes.
But I think
With-
you know
with
most of the live albums we'll be talking about now are gonna be pretty much had about vinyl.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not too many. I mean, at least on my list here, most of these things were all vinyl albums at one point. That obviously
The original
I got.
releases were on
the original
vinyls.
were, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Mike? Next.
Next was what we might as well do it now since Lisa kind of threw the buzz out of it. Peter Frampton Comes Alive, but the wrong one. The second one, the Live in Detroit, I think is better than the first one.
Really? Okay.
Yes, because the
man.
first
Oh,
one is kind of a, outside of you, because you had Frampton's Camel and the other Peter Frampton albums before it.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who Peter Frampton was before the live album.
Right.
But when that thing took off and it got huge, and I know the three of us, when we signed up for high school, you go to the auditorium and you get your class schedules and you get your books. Everybody got a copy of Frampton Comes Alive. That was kind of like that was part of your school year.
Yes.
But I mean,
I didn't get one.
I
get one?
thought,
I had to buy it.
well, you went to Bishop Gallagher and stuff. They probably,
Yeah. No, it was part of like
I went to Lakeshore 10th
Oh,
grade.
all right,
Yeah, 'cause,
okay.
you
they
come
gave
in-
you they gave you Boston's first album instead. They were out of the Frampton albums.
yeah. Zag.
There you go. Wait, sorry, we're out of Frampton Comes Alive. You got to sell it for the first Boston album, which everybody had too. But I thought what the cool thing about the second one is the first one, obviously, we didn't know any of the songs.
Right.
So he's kind of putting it out there. He's still trying to get a name for himself. He's still trying to be somebody. The second one, he already is somebody, and he's kind of loosey-goosey. He's a little bit more relaxed. The jams are a little bit more fluid. He's making fun of himself a bit. He's a little bit more talkative with the audience. I just thought it was really, I liked the way the second one came across. It just seemed like he was a little bit more comfortable in his skin. He already knew who he was. He's already been through some stuff. Where the first one sounded like, boy, I hope the heck this thing makes it. I'm going broke. I need to sing this out.
He probably was. He was probably
So
on
like
the verge
by the
of-
time he got to him, he'd already had a career. He was bald. He was just having a good time. He loved coming here for whatever reason and stuff. And I just thought the second one was really good too.
Okay.
Well, there's no arguing. It wasn't. I still like the first one.
yeah,
I mean,
first-
that was
Yeah,
that's
the
a
fir- the
classic.
first- the first one
the
is-
sound is.
Yep.
The songs are really arranged different than his albums.
Yeah. Yes.
And so he took a chance doing. He wasn't playing it note for note.
Yep.
And I think I'd have to look back. I think Frampton came out with Comes Alive 2 before the Detroit one. There's a
You're
Frampton
right.
Comes
There
Alive
is
2,
one. There is a Frampton,
which is a good album too. They're all good live albums, but I still like Comes Alive.
You are
'cause-
right. Do you have that? The second one?
Yeah.
So now, what period does that cover? Up to Breaking All the Rules?
That came out after what was the album with it had like a dark cover, black and white cover, and the song on it was oh man, what was that
Help him
song?
out, Kurt.
Steve Marriott was on the album right before he
Oh
died.
yeah,
I can't
know
think of
which
the
one.
title
Yeah.
of it. I got it.
Isn't that the one where he does a
It's You. I think
version
there was a
of
song
Black
called-
Hole Sun? Is that the one where he did?
No, it's not on that album.
Okay.
It was before that. There's a song, it got a little bit of radio airplay called It's You or You. It might be called You. And that was kind of a little small hit that got a little bit of radio. It was kind of a comeback, really, album. Because he kind of went dormant for a while. You didn't hear him.
Yeah.
And then he did Camp Comes Alive 2.
Okay.
I forgot all about
And,
that. You're right,
which is
there-
actually
there
a good.
was a
They're all
Franklin
good
West.
albums,
Yeah.
but the Comes Alive is the classic.
Yeah,
Well-
it's part of it's part of your teenage years.
Yeah.
It
You know,
is.
that's the thing.
You're
But
right.
again, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about those old. That there's no like. They didn't sound like. I don't know if there was, but they didn't sound like it was dubbed at all. It sounded live.
No, and they had firecrackers in there too.
Yeah. The
Blasting
chair
out there.
falling or something.
Yeah.
That fell. But as you got on in time, these live albums are getting a little crispy, a little. Come on, man. They don't sound that good in concert.
Right, yes.
So, that's still listenable, but I just the Frampton one, like you said, it brings back. I mean, how many times we played pool?
Oh, my
My
goodness.
basement listening to that album.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So.
No.
Yeah. No, that's a good pull. All right.
I've got one. It's a White Snakes live in the heart of the city. It's a pre.
Bernie Marsden.
Yeah, it's got Bernie Marsden and Mick Moody playing guitars. It's got
Right. That's pre-hits. What are the hits that are on there?
actually
Fool
really
for Your
doesn't
Lovin'?
have.
Is that the
Yeah,
only ones
Fool.
on
Actually,
there?
it's the original version of Fool for Your Lovin' because that one was on the Ready and Willing album, which is That's What the Tour is on because it actually came out in 1980. This is when they were still kind of a lot based in England. It's more of a rock bluesy album. That's when he had John Lord was playing keyboards. I think Cozy Powell was on drums. And that.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good album. I like it a lot. It's, if you get the chance to look it up in Spotify or whatever.
I haven't. I probably should revisit. I haven't listened that much.
While
I like it. It's just
while you're on your White Snake live album thing, this
Yeah.
kind of is close to yours. Do you have, or what do you think of the UFO one? Lights Out?
oh yes.
Is that good?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, who plays
Yes.
guitar on that one? Is that Schenker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
Michael
that is
Schenker.
Michael Schenker. I don't have it. That's
And
why
Paul
I'm asking.
and
you.
Paul
Someone
and
will
Paul
have to
Chaplin.
burn you a copy.
Which is not legal.
We want to burn you a copy.
This is the disclaimer
All right.
today. That was
All right. Now the FBI is going to be at my doorstep and
Yes.
stuff and waiting there. I hear you got a shitload of illegal CDs. We're looking for some money from you.
That's a good album too. I mean, I'm not a huge UFO fan, but I'm trying to become one. I've listened to some
Because
stuff.
Eddie, I did the
Eddie
same
talked.
thing.
Well,
No, I'm
that's the
with
reason
you.
why I tried to, get.
I'm with you.
But they do have some good tunes. I mean,
Lights Out. London
they got
is
a
just-
ton of albums too. I mean,
Yeah.
there are a million albums, but the live album is a good. I mean, it sounds good. It's same thing. Like all those older live albums,
Yep.
you can tell it's from that era. You
Yes.
know. And I don't think there's a lot of overdubbing. There might have been some moving of tracks and stuff, but you
right,
can't
but it
tell.
captures everything.
Yeah, you can't
it does
tell.
really does a
Smooth.
good job of
That's
capturing.
one thing about live albums. I hate the live albums where they fade out. They'll play. There's like 16 tracks, but they're all from different places.
Yes.
And they didn't make it
between
flow,
songs.
so they fade them out.
Yeah.
And you got to listen to each one as a separate track. I hate those. I think those are terrible albums when they come out like that.
Yeah, they could.
Isn't Exit Stage Left kind of like that? There's a couple tunes that fade out and they fade back in. Mm-hmm. I thought,
Yeah.
talking live albums, that one, that one didn't make it for me.
And Ted
No,
Nugent's
and I was
got Double Live
listening to-
Gonzo too, wasn't it? It's I know it's recorded in a lot of different
Well,
areas, but
they fade out the sides.
Yeah,
but
okay.
not during
But
this. They
that's
fade in and
from
out
one
the-
track to another, yeah,
they
they-
had to do that. But I'm talking about in between.
just in
tracks.
between. Okay.
So there's some albums where every song fades out. Some live albums.
It's
So
just-
that would be an indication it was probably chopped.
It was just
up.
it was
Yeah.
it's like a collection of
come on, you
live
couldn't
songs
edit
from
it
various.
together?
Yeah, they could have edited it. And
Yeah.
take crowd noise and balance it all out from one track
Well,
to another.
that's one of mine coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not going to bring it up right now.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I was listening to a show Hands of the Way here. Or before I was here, I was working out in the yard and stuff. And yeah, Rush live albums are pretty.
There's a couple
flatline.
good ones.
Yeah, but
there's a couple.
All the
World's a
I think
Stage?
All the
It's-
World's a Stage is a good
Yeah.
album.
It's just but it doesn't. You don't capture the intensity. They're good versions of the song, but I just
Right.
don't feel that I'm at a live show or hear that I'm at a live show. You just hear like a little bit of. But I mean, the performances of the songs are fantastic. You could feel the energy there. It just didn't feel like any of the live albums when any of the Rush albums they put
You
out.
know what's kind of
so.
cool about Rush though? They got a ton of live albums.
They do.
For a while, towards the end,
Yes.
they were
Yeah.
releasing every
Releasing,
tour.
yeah.
But you can really hear Geddy's voice get deeper and deeper
Yeah.
from the early times until
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You could when you listen to those albums, it seems like every tour got a little deeper.
You can listen to Getty hit puberty. Getty through the years.
Well, and plus, I mean, we've seen Rush before. It's not like it's a chaotic scene at the live thing where everybody's screaming and so they're projecting their live albums similar to the crowd. I mean, if you were to go to like Kiss or something like that, the crowd is
All right, I'll get that. You're
so it's
right.
like-
You're right.
yeah.
Rush fans are not, losing their flame and minds and stuff. And I did when I
Well, they probably are. They're just a little more
yeah,
subdued.
they're just doing air guitaring and stuff like that. But yeah, I just showing hands. I do
the
remember
air drumming.
listening to that. You did hear remember they would put up like on the screens, they would have the screen show, film show and stuff.
Yeah.
You would hear kind of like the oohs and ahs from the crowd when they would do something like that.
Yeah.
Like when Red Barchetta would come on, they had this nice little video game type thing here. Ooh,
Right.
ah, but
Yeah.
unless you saw them, you have no idea what they're talking about. You knew that something was going on because of the way the crowd reacted, but we don't know what it was. I mean, it could have been a naked girl walking across the stage. You didn't know that.
Their DVDs are better to watch
Yes.
live.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Some bands,
Yeah.
some bands are
Got the
really
one with
good.
The wash machines going.
I was going to ask you, did anybody hear what the theory was behind what you did that?
I did at one
It's a
time. I don't
great, it's
remember.
brilliant.
I
I,
don't remember
love
what
it.
it was, but
they
that
go
was
with the
wild.
vending machine too. They just keep slipping around. I was dying to see him to pull out like a ham sandwich or something.
still
Bumbling
don't-
around for change during the drum solo.
I still don't know the answer to the one we saw Neil Young and he had those little bugs floating around stage. You remember that?
Yeah, they were like these little.
What
They were arachnophobia metal like
Robot.
mechanical robot spiders. It was very disconcerting.
I'm kind of bummed that I missed that one.
No, you're
The
not.
concert was good.
It was just weird. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, they just kind of like they'd unleash
Are-
him, but they'd like
are-
walk around. And say,
Are
what
you
the hell is going on?
Are you sure that? Did you
We
guys
may have
do
been-
anything?
we
It's like
may
you
have
guys
been drunk.
They were,
drunk and
they were
yeah.
really.
maybe
No,
maybe,
yeah, they were really there.
maybe some liquid
There's a lot
LSD or
of
something
high
like
on
that. You had some LSD or some mind altering that could have been happening.
Yeah,
Were you guys burning something on the way there?
There is a high marijuana content smell on that. What Neil Young show.
oh, okay,
I
so-
never thought of that.
They do.
So that's
have-
probably what. That's
yeah.
I'm sure that there wasn't.
The marijuana index, as far as like smog index at a Neil Young show, is very, very high. So
And it was at Cobo.
Okay, yeah. So
It
you
wasn't
got
For some
the-
Cobo,
reason
so
at
you're right.
Cobo.
and you
Yeah.
guys were up in Tier
Nothing
C,
got
right?
out of there.
did.
We were.
the denseness.
Yeah, and if you're in Tier C, it's like there's that nimbus cloud and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
when you're on a plane and stuff, you look down through the clouds. It was like, okay, you're in Tier C. It's like, okay, I see the band through the clouds. We're okay to land.
God, that place.
I love it though.
Yeah, I know.
Love it.
Yep.
I've
Oh, yeah.
never. I think that's the first time I ever peed in a sink before. You remember the sink just so. I mean, the bathroom's so filled up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned how to. Yeah, I learned how to adapt. That was kind of
Yes.
cool.
Oh yeah.
You learn not to be shy.
I'm bringing the next one up.
All right.
Okay.
The Alice Cooper Show.
That was a single disc.
Single album.
I had that. Yeah. You know what? That was good. The only thing I thought would have been better if that could have been a double disc. That could have really been good.
Yeah, back then they
But
just.
that was a good
there were a
single
lot of
disc.
single.
But yeah,
this-
that
I
was.
think it's another one that captures the sound, the
Yeah.
energy. It's got a good mix of songs. Could have more, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
that would have been a
but
nice double
it
album.
still captured Cooper at that time and the
Yeah.
band that they had at the time. And he's got quite a few live albums out too.
Yeah, I do actually have a live. Well, actually, it's a live DVD with an accompanying live disc. I don't remember exactly what the tour was or
Was it
whatever.
$1 Billion Babies?
No, it was after that.
If I had a $1 Billion Babies, it's got one disc. It's the actual disc itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I think the second one is just. No, it is a
Compilation?
live one. Yeah.
I think I
Okay.
know which one you're talking about. Good for you, something. Or
Something like that.
Pretty's
where-
for you.
it was a
It's,
DVD. It was a whole package thing.
Yeah, it was a DVD and come with a CD, and it's
Yeah.
basically there's like a couple songs omitted on the CD from the DVD because obviously CDs you can't put as much on as you do a DVD.
Yeah.
So there's a couple, but yeah, it's there's some, and and a lot of bands are doing that nowadays where they're putting out the DVD and a CD to get you to buy them and stuff like that.
I
But,
think I got a
but
Def
no, the
Leppard
early
one
stuff.
that's got that.
But the early Alice Cooper, like the one you referenced one is them are good.
I think Cooper, he would be, for as far as like a live thing, I would, instead of buying the CD, I think he'd be more of a DVD type dude.
Oh, for sure.
Where you'd want to just see it, because you want to see all the stuff. You want to see the
The
beheadings
old
and all
one
that
now.
stuff.
He's starting to do a little more stage, but
Yeah.
for a while he wasn't really doing a whole bunch.
No.
When he went kind of, he went kind of
Right.
dormant for a while. I saw him at the Royal Oak Music Theater.
You took me there for my birthday.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there wasn't a huge stage show, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now he's starting to get back.
Yeah, because I remember
the
seeing
last couple tours.
I remember
saw.
seeing him at
At
the State Fair one year.
I went with that with you.
Yes,
we went to
and-
that.
yeah,
Yes,
you know.
that was weird.
That was that was
That was
that was
really
the like the dormant year type scenarios
Yeah.
where he decided, hey, I'm going to get back out on the road and I'll do the State Theater. And
Cows and Alice Cooper. There you go.
Yes, yeah,
All right,
cows
there you
and-
go.
No,
pigs
he
and-
tours constantly, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's like what 75.
yeah, he's still putting
in
it
good
out there.
shape.
He's still,
Yeah, but he surrounds himself with some really good musicians,
still
so he can
sounds
pull
good,
that
though.
off. He does because he has he employs 3 guitar players.
yeah. He's got 3. Yeah,
Yeah, so he makes sure his sound is really beefy. And again, a lot of his song wasn't a lot of screaming and yelling anyway, so you could sing that forever. It's not like he's Robert Plant and he's got to try to sing Immigrant Song every night.
yeah.
I don't think Robert Plant.
He can sing "I
another
Love
song.
the Dead," and he doesn't have to worry about changing his voice.
Right.
In fact, it probably sounds better now that he's getting older. It sounds more creepy.
Does that mean you're bringing up a Led Zeppelin live album?
No. No. We're not going to go "Song
Thank
Remains
God.
the Same." Where
All right,
I
thank
think we
God.
talked about that last time. that
Yes, we did.
As far as movie goes, that was not a good soundtrack either. Yeah.
You could fall asleep to that one.
Well, yeah, especially look at Moby Dick. All right, is it right there? Yeah. Was that a whole
Say
side?
no more.
Was Moby Dick a whole side?
I believe so.
I think it probably
It's like
was.
a side and a half.
Oh, yeah. I think it's still going on. It's the drum solo still happening.
It's like 10 CDs.
It's like one of those time life
It comes
sets
in a
and
box.
stuff. Here's part 1 of Moby Dick and part 2 of Moby Dick. Call in now and you'll get a third Moby Dick.
And a bonus if you call
Yeah,
now.
a bonus
It's
if you
within
call
5
now.
minutes.
Expanded edition. It's like 25
Yeah.
vinyl discs.
Oh.
It costs $500.
Then the outtakes. You get the outtakes.
The outtakes.
Oh, sweet Lord. All right.
You hear him when he dropped his stick and he picked it on the road. He came up and
Oh, my goodness. What we put up.
What do you got, Mike? Got one?
I thought it was Kurt's turn.
my turn. Okay.
He can't think of one, Mike.
I'm I'm going with Worldwide Live.
Ooh,
by the
Scorpions.
Scorpions.
Sound was a little bit muddled on that. Great song selection.
Yes.
though.
Well, that was a tour that we
Pretty
went-
career expanded. Yeah, that was the one. We saw them like 3 times in 3 different cities. We saw them
Yeah.
Kalamazoo,
Yeah.
Pine Knob, and the US Festival
Yes,
in
yes.
all 1 year. It's like it's something we were following these guys around. It's kind of creepy.
Now, that's one that they originally cut out, Make It Real, and they reissued it with that on it,
Oh.
on CD.
'Cause
I got
Mr. Wikipedia here.
There he
I'm
is.
telling you, they edited a lot of those original live
Yeah.
albums because that was a double album too.
Yep. Yes, that was a double. Yeah.
But it is a good album. It sounds good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite,
Right.
but
But sometimes.
Didn't they have Tokyo tapes too a lot earlier? But they
Tokyo Tapes.
Yeah,
is
that
good.
was with Ollie Roth.
Yeah,
On
but
guitar.
I mean, what singles or hits off of that
None.
that we would know?
Speedy's Coming, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was by
All right.
it.
If I lived
the early-
in
it's the early
Germany,
shit.
maybe
Yes, I
that
know,
would
yeah.
be something I'd be saying. But I.
But it's a good album as far as if you're from that era and
Yeah,
it sounds
and
good.
Yeah, sometimes it's just it's just like the thing. That's what it is about some of these live albums. Like say the Peter Frampton one. It's like it's a part like that Gary Moore album that when I was at Harpo's seeing the show. It's just that same with the Scorpions. It's you remember seeing the concert and the energy.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to trigger all that back.
Yes.
So it takes you
Yep.
back to where you were doing there, and the guy throwing up behind you on the floor and stuff like that.
Yep.
The parking hassles.
But the thing
Yeah.
that'd be cool with the Scorpions is if they were able to somehow come up with another live album which mixes everything, because now they don't play any of that early stuff anymore. Even from what and up to maybe
No, but
Animal Magnetism forward now. They're
Well-
not playing like anything from the first 3-4 albums. In Trance, they don't play any of those songs.
no,
Virgin
because
Killers,
when
no
we saw
Virgin
them, they
Killers?
were doing a lot of like I think the oldest they went was maybe Blackout.
Okay.
You know, because they've been recording ever since, so they're playing a lot of new stuff. Are you a rock believer?
I'm a rock believer. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm still
Because
a
it
rock
was
believer.
like Love Drive and
No,
and that,
those
you know,
you're not
they're-
going to hear that anymore. You're just going
Right.
to hear like they pull out stuff from.
No, they played Love Drivers, Loving You Sunday Morning, didn't they, when we saw them?
Yes, but not
Make
Love
it real or
Drive.
fantasy.
One of them.
and-
No,
that's
that
okay.
No.
They were trying to push. They
But it'd be
pushed
cool
a lot of
if
new
they
rock.
could do a tour where they play.
Right.
From what I hear, that Klaus just can't. He can't
Probably
play.
hit
he
some of
can't
that.
do every nighters anymore, and his
Oh,
voice
yeah.
is just real fragile. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting
Losing
up there
his
too.
hair.
But that would be a cool album. Or if they had sourced some tapes, mixed them
get
all
back in-
together,
yeah.
that'd be kind of a cool.
See, that would be a better bet if you can get period pieces of live that they've actually got somewhere in the archives, and then meld them with here's a 3 CDs.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what was it? Rush through the stages or through the years where the first CD is
Different
them.
stages.
Different stages where they've got the first CD is like from London back in the early days, and the 2nd CD is relatively new, which is kind of cool. It's got before and after type things there.
Right.
If the Scorpions could do that, that'd be kind of cool. I'd dig that.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Rather than try to put them all in the same and have
Any
Klaus
of
try
these
to
old
sing.
acts,
Yeah.
any of the old
Right.
acts, that'd be kind of cool. Because now, as the careers moved on, they got away from their old catalog and
Right.
stuff. And newer stuff is what any live album that came out as time went on was always the new stuff.
Yeah.
Or captured that tour or something like
Yeah.
that. But they get away from their old stuff because it wasn't big back then. It wasn't a hit.
Yeah, I'm probably looking. Plus, they're probably looking out the audience, and the audience is, depending on probably the audience is there's a mixture of older and younger, and
Yeah.
the younger crowd probably wants some of the recent stuff. So they're not going to be playing some. And like you say, probably the vocals, if they can't hit the ranges on some of that stuff, they're like say Robert Plant. He can't. He
Yeah,
can't.
'cause
Yeah, he actually see that London '02 show. He with Zeppelin the last
the celebration.
allegedly Zeppelin reunion. He shied away from anything that would really strain his vocals.
Right.
He was playing it pretty close to the bone, kind of the,
Yeah.
the
'Cause they
folky
just-
stuff,
yeah,
going
they
to
can't.
California stuff like
Right.
that.
They can't. Yeah.
Now going back to, or actually expounding upon what Mike just said, it's the Police live. They did the same thing. They did one disc is back like the first or second tour in Boston.
Okay.
Where there's probably 30 people in the actual club, and the second disc is the show from Atlanta from Synchronicity, which was the MTV concert as well.
Okay.
Really kind of cool because it sounds in the really beginning how they're really kind of going for it, and then Synchronicity really kind of more polished and stuff. But the energy level remains the same. And you think about the Police, you go, but I mean, no, this is a really good live
I
album.
actually had that on my list.
Yeah, that's
good
a
album.
really good live
It's
album.
a good
isn't it?
live album.
Because the
And-
first one's really kind of you could tell they're hungry. It's their first the tour and stuff, and they're just going for it. And then the Synchronicity is just really good too.
Yeah. That I think that second CD is the one that came out on. Remember, it was on DVD or I think it was VHS. It was the Synchronicity.
Yeah, because they
I
actually
think
played
that's
that.
what
They
it
actually
was all
showed
one
that on
big
MTV,
package.
the
Yeah.
whole full
Yeah.
concert. Yeah.
Which was really good. I remember because we saw him on.
We
that
saw
tour.
him at Joe Louis. Joan
And
Jett
I saw him
opened
again
up.
in that reunion. I thought they were good, but I mean, I thought that when we saw them originally, they were better.
That was a money grab.
Yeah, exactly.
What the recent the
The
recent
last
tour?
tour,
The last tour.
Yeah, it was like
So you say it wasn't that good though? I thought about going to that.
it was good. It was just you could kind of tell it was a reunion. And they
They were just going through.
those-
yeah,
those dudes
money
couldn't-
grab.
those-
They
those
just
dudes
well,
couldn't
the energy
stand each
wasn't
other.
the same as when we saw them at Joe Louis.
They hated each other.
Yeah, they can't stand.
So
it.
it obviously was a money thing. It's like,
Did you hear that Sting gets $5,000 a day from some rapper for sourcing one of his songs?
Really?
Yep. It was just in,
Oh,
the news.
yeah.
$5,000 a day just for and because the reason why is they didn't originally approach him on it,
Oh, really?
and they released it, and then they had so he was in the driver's seat. He could have either said axe it and probably sued him, or hey, you're going to pay me $5,000 a month, and that's what he gets paid
Oh, really?
every
Wow.
month.
Wow, that's not bad. Good.
what you get paid, right? That's what you get $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on some of the songs I helped
There
with.
you go. All right. Okay.
All right, before we run out of time, I'm bringing in Live Bullet.
Oh, we could run, I guess, a little bit over. Yeah, go ahead. Go do Live Bullet.
Well, it was just it's again, it was a kind of like a Frampton situation with Seeger at the time.
Oh yeah.
Comes out with Live Bullet, and again, it's just like Frampton. The songs don't sound like the studio songs.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell
They
the
sound
energy was
better.
recorded in his hometown at Cobo and all that. And I think that made him hit. That's where he hit. He got and Turn the Page. You can't argue. I mean, come on, it's on the radio every day. That version, if you listen to that and the studio version, they're not even the same.
Yeah, I've heard the studio version before on XM.
Yeah. Now that'd be a cool album that if they re-released it with some, the full concert or something, it would be kind of interesting to hear. But that album, again, there's a couple longer songs, but that was that era, Just like Do You Feel Like We Do takes up a half a side. Seeger's got, what is it?
Get Out of Denver.
Get Out of Denver. And
See, that was a good song.
Yeah. No, yeah. But I'm saying that's what
Yeah.
you're saying about these jam.
yeah, those epic
extended-
songs were big back then.
Right.
And I think that album, Mike mentioned the second live album. It's okay, but again, it's different sources.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't capture the same feel as the first live album. And I wore that one out too, man.
Yeah, the first one, you're right. The level was pretty steady. The energy level from start to finish was from Nutbush City Limits all
Got
the
the
way
classic
through
lines too. That's another thing I was thinking about, like the Frampton album. Bob Mayo on keyboards. Bob Mayo. That was always everybody talked about that.
Yeah.
Seeger has the got the 16 track rolling, and we're recording live. And all those things, you don't see that anymore.
What
man.
about
The classic
Ted's? If anybody
lines.
wants to get mellow.
Nugent's live Gonzo. I heard Eddie Trump
What
using
is-
that in one of his promos.
Yes, in his openings. Yep, in his
How do you
promo
even-
opening. Yep.
Live albums don't have that anymore. Those
No.
those
If
funny
anybody wants
lines
to
in
get
them, man.
mellow,
Oh, yeah.
you can turn around. Yeah, that's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
The
Frank
Seeger
Frank
one. Hey, take it easy up front there.
or like was it Frank Mahogany on his live one asking if hey, is anybody got a joint out there?
Frank Mahogany's or Frank Marino's got a
Frank
Mahogany
Marino.
Rush?
Yeah, he's having a rough
What happened to
live.
him?
He's
Canadian.
He was going to tour. He was coming to the Token and then canceled.
oh really?
Yeah, he got sick or he's dying or something. I don't
Okay.
Or he's sick, or he's dying, or
Something
he's not
terminal.
feeling
One or the
good. Yeah,
One or
he's-
the other.
know. He said he
One or the
retired.
other.
That was it.
yeah, all right. So he's having a problem.
I was going to go see him.
Okay. Well, go see him in the hospital. I'm sure he'd appreciate that a lot more.
Just hand him a guitar, see if he can still play.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Boy.
Lisa,
How
did you
about-
want to add anything to
how
the
about,
Bob Seger?
Yeah, you were very vocal earlier. I mean, to just.
Just those are my two favorites.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we got him in there.
I see.
Okay.
Hey, how about? Well, I'm going to go with. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this yet.
Yeah. What?
Kiss Alive album.
Well, that was
Kiss
going to
Alive.
be my ace in the
Well,
hole.
all right,
We'll
then I'll
go
go.
that. We'll give your
no,
take
no.
on it.
No,
and
I'm
I'll
going to go with.
jump
I'm going
in
to go
there.
with Stones "Love You Live." I'm going to go with that one.
That's the one in Toronto and
At the Melma Combo,
Paris.
which actually
Yeah.
I was in Toronto with the missus. We were out
Yeah.
there, and I'm like, we're stopping at the Elmo Combo to have a beer. And we did. We walked down,
Isn't that
found the
cool?
Elmo Combo. And
You wouldn't
it's a
even
little-
notice. It's like on a side. It's in
Yeah,
a street
it's a
with a
little
bunch
small
of retail
little-
and stuff.
yeah,
it's
it's a small
it's
little
in, it's like a
place.
strip mall thing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're here.
Yeah, that's all.
right.
We're
Guess
walking
let's
on the
pop
street.
in.
Yeah, we're walking on the street. There was this like flamingo-looking
Yeah.
plant, and I'm like, "Oh, this is it. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go in." We went in, and I'm looking
You
around,
figure
going,
it'd be a little more sexier,
No, it's
more in your face, but no, it's just kind of like if you weren't paying attention, it's like
Yeah.
blow right by it.
"Yeah." So I went in, had a beer, looked at the stage. So the Stones played there, and
there you go.
I'm like, "Cool." And Stevie Ray Vaughan actually he put out a DVD.
that's right.
He put out a VHS
Yes.
on the Elmo Combo.
Well, here's an
Yes.
interesting thing. Mike mentioned the Elma Combo. I can't even say it.
Oh, the
album you just got the
Stone. Okay, the
that you mentioned our last one. April Wine has an album out from there, and that same day.
So is that? I bet it's
So
there.
April Wine, yeah, no, it is. It's the same date. April Wine. It's a single disc, and
So
it's
it's-
got like 8 or 9 songs.
So
on
it's
it.
their opening set
It's their
before
opening
Stones.
set, so you can actually get the whole day.
Huh?
You could get look it up. April Wine live at the Elma Combo,
That would be
same
kinda cool.
date,
oh really?
and it's and then I think if you look at it, they'll tell you it was when they opened up for the Stones.
Oh, really?
So
Interesting.
it's kind of cool.
So that makes all right. Okay. All right. Well, now that you already spoiled it, yeah. I mean, obviously, the Kiss Alive thing. In fact, I listened to that today a little bit.
Okay.
Just so I kind of refresh myself. It's the whole show. I mean, you can tell it was recorded inside an arena because actually it's kind of there's a lot of echoes from Cobos and stuff. It's a lot of echoey. It's not in your face. They also had remember when we used to go to shows and stuff, and they would waste time by doing. They would divide or is this side, the left side's louder than the right side. Well, Paul does that during 10,000 Years. Everybody stand up, because rock and roll, that's what you believe in. And during the drum solo, it's like, okay, this could go. But, like you said, though, it actually sounds like a real concert because there are parts in that concert that are boring. Like that, where you go on and say, come on, everybody clap your hands, who's louder? That was kind of cool, but it was kind of distracting at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then you move over to, and obviously, a little fun fact, the reason why they did that is because they were broke and live albums were cheaper to make. So they were on the bones of their backside. So if that thing didn't hit, they were done. So, blame everybody in Detroit for making Kiss popular. If you guys hate Kiss, it's your fault. So, and then Live 2 came in there. And Live 2, they went the whole other way. They took all the crowd noise and amped it up so it sounded like the whole thing was just one nonstop scream fest, which it wasn't. Yeah. But they just pumped the sound up. Even on the actual songs themselves, they pumped the sound. And it just sounded, it was just too much. It was way in your face. And then side 4, obviously, was reserved for studio songs, which is basically the spots in the show where you would have put in the old staples like Strutter and, Rock and Roll Night Party every day.
Cold Gin.
Yes, exactly. That would have been one of those would have slotted in if they would have did the whole thing over there. Okay. And then a Live 3, which parts of it were recorded at the Palace. A little bit of everything. They were doing some of the old stuff, some of the new stuff, some of the stuff they were trying to. That's when they brought back "I Was Made for Loving You." They later in their career they were trying to force that back down our throats when everybody said, "No, we don't want that." But I don't know. That was a little bit better, a little bit more muddier. But yeah, the first Alive actually did sound like a concert because you could hear, like especially some of the guitar solos and some of the drums and stuff. You can hear that it sounds like it's in an auditorium. They didn't have the technology to, clean that up, which is good. Like I said, there's parts there too, which the boring parts of the show. Hey, this side's louder than this side. Everybody stand up, do this. So that was more of a capture. Yeah, and I wore the shit out of that one too.
Just like pretty much I did too.
What do you think of it? What do you think?
Did you really?
Yeah, I had the first Kiss Alive out. I bought it early, right when the thing came out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I say, some of these live albums.
You could attest Live 2
we
a little bit too
loud.
loud.
That was part of our
that was the Kiss
set list.
Yes,
when we played pool in the basement. I had Kiss Alive, Bob Seger, Frampton, Gary Wright, the Dreamweaver,
Aerosmith's
first album. And Toys in the Attic. Yeah, I only had like 10 albums at the time.
And Neil Young, or Neil Diamond.
I did have Neil Diamond. That might have been my mom's.
Well, we still played it.
And my sister had Queen. Which album did she have?
Night at the Opera?
One of the Queen albums, Night at the Opera maybe.
Yeah, the white one.
My dad had John Gary. We never played that one.
Who is John Gary? You're right, he did that.
I never played it, but he had a John Gary album, I remember. Okay. But yeah, those I still have those all. I never even got rid of them. I still have them in a crate, Right. But what's going on? Did you recently hear about the Kiss thing with Paul and Ace? Paul went on Howard Stern and said if Howard Stern asked him, "Hey, why didn't you play at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with those guys?" He said, "If I would have played with Ace and Pete, it would have been Piss instead of Kiss." And man, Ace got pissed. And I guess he went on a truck.
What? No, I did not hear that.
He threatened to throw some dirt out there. He goes, "It'll ruin their career."
Yeah, I guess so.
Because they're not angels, and I don't know what's going on, but he's pissed.
Apparently,
apology.
What I heard was Ace went back on and did another follow-up interview to that, but didn't really say what he was going to say.
Thought better of it.
Yeah, he kind of backed off and said, whatever.
Why does Paul do that?
I was just gonna say that. At this point, why?
Right? Yeah,
it's like
ruining their legacy.
You know what it is? It's like slagging off an old girlfriend. Let it go. It was good when it was good. It's not good now. Let it go.
These guys are really sober, but he's claiming he's been sober for almost 20 years or 17 years.
Ace?
Yeah, I mean, he's put out more new music than Kiss has.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
still
he
playing
might
out.
not be playing arenas, but he's he's still playing. He's still something. We saw him. He sounds good.
Oh yeah, his solo
So
stuff's pretty
why
solid.
is Paul got to leave the guy alone and
Again.
he's ruining their own legacy?
Yeah, it really is.
You know what's going to happen? You mark my words. Once Kiss retires, if they ever do fully retire, and these, they don't have to promote their tours and all that, then they're going to go back to, oh yeah, we shouldn't have said that about Ace and Pete, and then they're going to try to recapture that
Probably.
old. But right now, they're just all about promoting what they're doing.
Yeah.
And leave the guy alone.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like ragging on an old girlfriend. You guys have both moved on. Let it go.
more
She's
Paul.
happy. You're
It's more
happy.
Paul than
Just
anybody.
exactly. Why keep unless there's something. I don't know.
I
I'm with you.
I thought that was a low.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, just let it go. Get over it.
All right, we got time for one more.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We can do a couple more. I
Right.
mean, we could go a little bit over.
No. How about Jeff Beck and Jan Hammer? Jan Hammer.
Jan
group?
Hammer?
I know it's
Not familiar with that one.
You're not
Nah,
familiar?
not either,
You,
no.
you guys are familiar with that one?
Not familiar with that.
I mean, it's a good. It's a single disc one.
Jan Hammer, or I think Miami Vice.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He did the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goofy
No, I mean,
looking
it's
little
good.
dude.
It's Jeff Beck.
Goofy little European dude.
Jeff Beck, playing at his best and things like that. It's one of them ones where if you're a big fan of Jeff Beck, you're gonna like that. I would say it's worthwhile if you don't have it to look into it and check it out.
Okay, I'm surprised none of you guys jumped on this. Come on, the most obvious one, Cheap Trick.
I was just going to say.
Come on,
It's on my list.
and it's even a better
Right there.
one.
Well, Zag's the one.
Budokan.
Zag's the one that's the big cheap chick guy because you've been
Cheap
talking.
chick?
Chicken, yeah.
Chick,
Chicken
Jack-
trick,
Jack-
trick.
Jack- say that five
Chicken
times.
trick.
Yeah, you were the one that, in past episodes that we've talked about, you talked about the first and second
Now-
albums and stuff. So I figured I was waiting for you to
Now,
mention
Mike,
that.
It's on my list.
did you get the Cheap Tricks #2, where they actually
Yeah, I
have the
still
sec-
but again, I like I mean, if you're going to go with the sound and the flow, I think the first one is.
Well, no, it was supposed to be an addendum. It was the songs that were cut out of the first one,
Right.
And they slammed them all together.
There's like 3 versions now. There's
Yeah,
another,
they played like all the
remixed and
stuff
this.
that like.
But the first one again, I mean,
Right.
those are great. I think they're both good, but I still like the original. The way it's, I don't know. Maybe it's because when you bought it, you played it. You just the first one always kind of sticks to you. It's
see.
cool the full show one. There's 2 discs and all that.
Yeah.
But I still like the first one and the arrangements and the flow of the album.
And that's still kind of a little bit of a Frampton vibe too. Not a lot of people knew a lot of those songs on that
Right.
album,
Right,
The
until-
kids that came out there. And again, there's another one. The crowd noise is really too high. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I know
they
it's
boost-
Japan. I know that Japan, fans are nuts and stuff. But come on. I mean, you pull yourself back.
Oh, maybe they
Get
are
your
kind
levels
of,
right.
Maybe they are kind of crazy
maybe
over there in
they're crazy,
Japan.
or maybe how do you know
Maybe
that?
they are.
I don't know.
We'll have to talk to the producer and see if he jacked it up.
Yeah,
Some of them they did. I mean,
yeah.
there's been rumors about all those albums that
Yeah.
they did mess with the crowds. And
Well,
if it's going to enhance, I don't have a problem if it's going to, like Mike said, sometimes it's a little bit crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But
a live
I don't like
over
this, I don't like when you hear they overdubbed everything. Went back in the studio and fixed everything. Then
Right.
you just took away from the live stuff.
Yeah.
And some of these newer ones are, if you listen to newer live albums, they're too clean. They just don't capture that old sound like we did when we were young.
Well, yeah, 'cause, I mean, with all the new technology and even a lot of the way you're hearing the sound, it's all digitally presented now because they're
Yeah.
running through so much pedal racks and
tell you
things like
what.
that you can clean everything up. The sound quality, what they're doing now is just
I got that last live Van Halen one, the Tokyo Dome one.
Okay.
And they let David Lee Roth produce it, and he did nothing to it.
Okay.
I mean, in his credit, he didn't fix his voice either.
Yeah.
It's still bad.
Okay.
But I tell you what, that album is a good evidence of what they sounded like really live.
Okay.
The Sammy Hagar one was all fixed.
Oh, we heard that none of that was live.
That was
remember?
terrible.
I
That's
think
a
we read
terrible-
it. That whole thing was redone. I think Sammy Hagar's book and read. He
for
said,
some-
"You know what? That whole thing. There's not a
it's
live thing
terrible.
on it. It was all redone in the studio."
And for some reason, Van
is
Halen
weird, I don't
Roth
know
there
why.
never released anything. I think, but I don't know why Eddie let this, because Eddie was still alive when that album came out. They let David Lee Roth produce it, and he did not dub anything. They didn't fix anything. Eddie even said it. He never went in and fixed it, and you can tell.
How brutal is it?
It's not. It's a good indication of what they were like live.
Okay.
Musically, yeah, but I mean, how bad are the vocals?
They're not that bad.
Yeah.
They're David Lee Roth, man. I mean,
He scats around.
I'll give him credit. He didn't go in and fix it. I mean,
That's cool.
it's David Lee Roth.
He's so delusional. He probably thinks he sounds good.
But no one
Somebody's
ever.
got, you know,
Oh, yeah.
But everybody knew Van Halen.
You know what? You don't sound good. We got to fix your voice. You
But
know,
when
that
you
type of
saw
thing.
when you
But,
went back in the day when you saw Van Halen, you knew what they were going to sound like.
you were,
Yeah.
you weren't getting.
You know,
Well, you knew Dave
They
was
never
not.
sounded-
Dave was not going to make through a whole song. He was going to scoot
No.
and scat and just
he's going to
around.
forget the words
Yeah.
and use the old line.
Well, actually, that's the thing about.
He get winded and stuff.
Get winded.
Bend over. I'm with you, people. I'll be with you in a second, guys. I just got to catch my wind here.
Well, that was when we went and seen.
I got 2 hours of sleep last night. I'm struggling here.
I'll burn you a copy, Mike.
You know what?
Van Halen was always a visual. They're great musicians,
Yeah, it was
but
a
it's always
party
been
theme.
visual. So to really capture them on a CD, it's like. Dave's doing all his high kicks and flips and things like that, and his prancing and doing everything with the stage, where capturing audio live, is just basically what's Eddie doing, That's basically what it would be,
So in that instance, they're actually a better studio band than live.
Either that or
As
more
far
of a
as that.
or more of
Here's
a
what I don't
DVD.
get.
You know?
They always talked about how they recorded live and
Oh, yeah,
Van
and-
Halen, but
yep.
yet why did David he couldn't sing live and he could sing in the studio? They did something to him in the studio.
Oh, I'm sure they probably worked his voice a lot.
Yeah, but they always bragged about how their albums were live in the studio, didn't do a lot of overdubbing. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
Why did it take 1984 3 years to make then? If everything's live in the studio.
Well, they were figuring out how to hook the keyboards up.
They just to get them all together.
You know, it's funny. Kurt and
To
I
get
were
them all
talking
together.
about that once. Before bowling, we were at the bar and stuff, and it's just Eddie made such a big stink about wanting to play keyboard and not just being pegged as a guitar here. Else you listen to his keyboard playing, it's like, okay, Eddie, that's pretty rudimentary stuff there. I don't know why we're all
but the
excited
hook-
about you playing
you gotta
guitar
give him credit. The
or
hook
piano.
on Jump it's a great hook.
But you could do that. It's like
Why
it
didn't
can't be
you?
hard.
Why didn't you do that?
Well, because I
You can
wasn't
say
in a
that, but I
band.
mean, it was a
But
good
you could have wrote something and submitted to him. Say, look at.
Oh,
look
yeah, I
at,
could have, yeah.
But it does sound very simple. I don't know how to play keyboards, but
Yeah.
but it is a hook that song when it came out, I'm like, oh my god, But
Yeah.
when you look at their
Yeah,
catalog, what's one of their most
Yeah,
famous songs because it's got that stupid hook to it.
Right.
Well, isn't
I don't-
it their first number one single,
I think so.
or their only number one
It's
single?
really not.
I mean, I
song.
don't really think Greg Allman lost a lot of sleep listening to that and going, oh my God, he's on my ass. I gotta get my
I gotta
chops
say-
together.
yeah, start
I gotta get a
myself
liver
up.
transplant, get
Yeah.
my shit
Gary
together.
Wright was sweating. The Dreamweaver.
And Van Halen's playing keyboards. We're all doomed.
John Lord's going, I'm fucked. I gotta
I'm
get
done. I'm
I'm done.
retiring.
I'm retiring.
Yeah, Rick Wakeman, I'm out of here. Oh, it's hilarious. All right, we're a couple minutes over, but if you got anything else?
Queen Live Killers.
Any one-hitters? I had that on here. There was a lot of same thing with the Kiss. Was a lot of like that one spot where he's speaking Arabic, where he's going,
Yeah.
Kinda
it's like,
weird.
okay, we got to tighten that up. But yeah,
I think it sounds good though.
Yeah, it's that. But the one thing is the opening, "We Will Rock You,"
The
which
fast
is actually is what they. If you notice, they're saying this is how we. This is like
Yeah.
that was the original version of the song
Yeah.
before they created what they had
Yep.
before.
There's
so that was-
another thing that came out at live at the BBC or something. They played this. That's got the studio version of that,
Okay.
and it's pretty good. It's same thing. It was fast.
Yeah.
So that was like a.
But no, it's
afterthought,
just
the
that's
slow
another
version
one
that
that
came out.
with Brian May and Roger Taylor and stuff. It just kind of you listen to it and you go, oh yeah, okay,
okay, let's do like a little rapid fire thing here. What do we think about Ian Hunters?
I like the club. Welcome to the Club's good.
Yeah.
I like
hear a butt.
there's one called No Strings Attached,
okay.
and
And that was a commercial release.
Yes.
Right.
And then there's another. It's got a long title that I have. That they're both really good. See, he's got so many songs, and all his live albums kind of same thing. They switch through the eras. His early stuff will be played, and then when he's doing something currently, it's more of the newer stuff. But I like. I don't think he's got a bad live album.
No,
But
no.
that
I
one,
mean,
the Welcome to the Club,
Yeah.
what you're talking about, is another good snapshot at that time.
That was my first introduction, and that
Yeah.
obviously we all saw him open up for Heart on the Biblical Strange tour and stuff. But I didn't know this guy from a hole in the wall. And I mean, you got that it's a nice stage presence. I'm going, I'm gonna check this stuff out, and that was, he had a couple of the hits there. Of,
yeah.
All the way from Memphis and stuff. Okay, all right.
He's got a new album coming out. It might be out.
Oh, really?
It's Kenny Daniel.
Criminally Remiss. We're not going to talk about Double Live Gonzo at all?
We did a little
I
bit.
figured
little bit?
Zag
We did
was
a
going to
little
be
bit.
Zag being the.
It kind of falls
the
in
Ted-
that same era where all these other ones we've talked about. It was,
But it's still. I mean, it's still.
Can we talk about Hibernation?
No, we don't. No, we're not.
why? It's the "Do You Feel Like We Do" song on the
It
album.
is.
It's the
It's
the
the
jam
whole
on the
side.
album.
Yeah,
It's a
whole
great
side.
tune,
my
Hibernation. You got to
Actually-
sit back with the headphones.
Oh, my
When
It's almost like Great White Buffalo does the same
Yes,
thing.
yeah.
Great White Buffalo kind of goes on like.
Yeah.
I remember we would go
Oh,
see
man,
Ted every year. It's like, okay, Great White
Beer run.
This is a
You
beer
know,
run.
it's a
Great
beer
I
run.
gotta go to the
Buffalo-
bathroom or I gotta
Great
get
White
another
Yeah,
beer.
Buffalo on
we
double-
could go to the bathroom and get a beer and come back.
Great White Buffalo.
We could go home and then drive back. And then
Great White Buffalo and Double Live Gonzo was the turn the page on that album, because if you listen to the original Great White Buffalo,
Okay.
from the Amboy Dukes to the live, the live one's what put it on the map. That's the one that
Gotcha.
got the airplay.
well, I liked Great White Buffalo because there was a story and there was actually
Right.
singing. But Hibernation just sounded like he was just. I don't know what he was doing.
That was the time.
Great White
All
Buffalo
those songs- all
Great
those
White
albums had a
Buffalo
jam
was
song.
I
the
guess I
pre
didn't
to
smoke
Ted,
enough
Ted
dope
Bear.
in those days.
But that was another album that kind of put.
Oh
kinda-
yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
that
still,
definitely put him
yeah,
on
that
there.
yeah, that
He was
helped
around
out
for a long
Oh,
time.
No, I
hell
mean,
yeah.
Ted was popular at the time, and it added to his.
Yeah, that came right off a
collection.
Cat Scratch.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously
Yes.
the guy was riding the wave there.
Right.
Another album that would be kind of cool to know, because like Free for All was out already. He didn't play
Yeah.
anything. There's nothing on there off Free for All.
No, yeah, most of it's
No, you're right.
It's
Cat Scratch in the first album.
You're right.
and-
There's no Dog Eat Dog on there, is there? No,
No.
Free for All,
No.
is there?
And he's had other
Free for All was on the
live
Cal Jam live album, I think.
albums, but-
yeah, yeah.
That's what's on that one
Yeah.
from him.
Okay.
With the old
You're not going
fellow.
to talk about In 10 Seasons, 10 Cities?
No.
No, it's a
My
good
Love
album,
is
but
like a
it's
tire
got-
iron?
It's exactly what I talk about. He fades the songs out. It's not a. It was a good idea. All new songs live, but. There's a couple
I'm
good
sorry,
tunes on
Mike. We all love Ted.
There's
but
a couple
There was
good
a period
songs on
there
there.
where he lost his compass, as they say.
He
Yeah.
There's a couple good songs on that album.
Yeah,
that I'd like
My
to have
Love is
heard
like a
the-
tire iron. Was that one of them?
Not my favorite.
Okay. What was the other
put
one?
up, put up or shut up, spontaneous combustion.
Yeah. Terminus Terminus Eldorado's on Wango or Spring
Flying,
Green.
flying
Yeah.
lip lock.
Yeah. The Flying Lip Lock.
Come up with a song called the Flying Lip Lock.
Wow, some guy that wears
Flying Lip Lock. What a title, man.
yeah.
Come on. You gotta give him credit.
Some guy that's wearing a Tarzan outfit out there. Yes, I can see that coming from him.
Even spontaneous
Yeah.
combustion. How many times have you ever heard another song like that?
Yeah.
No. The
And
titles
you're
are
never
great.
going to.
Ted's eating too much wild game, I think.
He's mixing pheasant and bear.
Yeah, pheasant,
Quail and
berries.
it's all-
There's way too many weird proteins going into his body. They're
I'm
not
not giving him
reacting
enough
well.
credit on his creativity for song titles.
All right, let's try to rein this thing back in.
about-
What
how
about
about-
Kinks One from the Road?
That was
Yes.
on my list.
Yeah, King's.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy on that.
Oh yeah.
front to
Definitely.
back.
Yep.
They're always kind of a goofy band because they never really came across as kind of this nutty band. But when you go see them live, they really put it
they
out.
just-
I mean,
oh
they're
yeah,
just-
no, they
it's like,
start to finish. Bam.
holy cow!
Right.
You know, it was pow, pow, pow. Yeah, I remember we saw them at Kobo, and John Butcher Axis opened up. Michael,
Who's that? Jay Giles?
no Kinks.
Was that the Kinks he opened?
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was
Jay
at the
Giles.
Kobo. No, it was
he was a
John
Boston
Butcher
guy.
Axis. Yeah, and this will be something Michael talk later on in future podcasts about his love for John
we
Butcher
can talk
Axis.
for
Now
about
he
an
used to
hour.
actually follow him around, and now Was
That's right. He was
Well,
a groupie.
Cleveland to see.
He was
well,
a
he
groupie.
worked PR for John Butcher Axis for a while
Yes,
there
he did,
too.
yes.
Do a show at the
Yeah,
Magic.
see,
Yes,
yeah.
he did.
Oh, that's
He-
right. Yep. Yeah.
Michael, tell us
I'd like-
about his
I'd like-
fanboy experience.
I'd like
there
to
with
thank
that.
Zag,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's right. If you look in the
Exactly.
liner notes,
We
you
still
like
talk.
to,
We still
Yeah.
talk.
you still talk. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's put a lot of CDs.
I think
out.
if
guys
you
should
want,
listen.
no, I noticed
Want me to
because
burn some for you?
no, we play hockey and stuff. He's got when he gets dressed for hockey, he's got this weird John Butcher Axis tattoo on his back.
Oh, it kind of across the whole.
it's got this big old
Life saves a life.
There you go, Adam boy. That's
You used
exactly
to
what.
dig John Butcher too. You liked Wish.
I liked
Yeah,
him.
but
He played-
not to that extreme. That was just
What
okay.
extreme?
Yeah, you followed him around.
I went to a concert in Cleveland.
Yeah, you were emailing the dude.
Yeah, and you. I should
You
just,
did say you didn't.
No, I
say
wait a
you
minute.
did.
him, asking him-
Wait a minute. And you followed him to Cincinnati too,
Yeah,
didn't you?
see, he's a
No,
stalker.
I went to one
He's
show
a
in
rock
Cleveland that he
stalker.
played
He's a rock
at. He was playing in Cleveland and I went. And that's what I think I emailed him about.
Oh, okay.
It was,
Got it.
you know, I mean, this was after he was, you know.
And you got a restraining order sitting on your
Yeah,
wall
I think
now
so.
that
Yeah,
says you
90
cannot-
feet. Get the hell away from me.
You have to sit in when you
I
go
got-
see him in the concert.
You
have to
can't
get
sit in the
back
front row.
You got to sit in the back
set list
row.
from the show.
You got to sit in the back
The
row.
set list from the show. I got the chicken wings with Leyland Sklar.
He's got.
Okay, you're not helping yourself.
He's got a security guard that stands next to him. And says,
When you
gotta
hit
stay-
bottom, stop digging. Yeah, it's just.
Hey,
But
he's
that'll
still
be
going.
you know
He's still
later.
going, still coming out with good stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
good.
I mean, I
he
did
was
like him.
sick or
I did
something.
like
Is
him
he
at one
okay?
time. He
Fine.
wasn't bad.
He's
you know,
actually
so-
got another band together with two other guys.
Another band, really?
good.
All right. Okay.
He was with Charlie Farron for a while.
How about REOs? You get what you play for. That's another
That's
one
what I
that.
brought up. That's the one I was
We
talking
talked
about earlier.
about that earlier. Yeah,
Right.
I like that one. That's very a time period
First-
piece
yeah, that
too. That you're right. Like Mike was saying earlier, that was part of the time. That those kind of albums and stuff. That was
Your
a
first,
good
and
album.
plus that was your first, to realize, REO, and
No, see, I think the album after that, the actual studio album after that, is actually when I caught on.
well, I caught on with the live
I know
album,
you
but-
were quicker. You were earlier to the party than I was, but I mean,
Right,
I
the
got
next
on
one
like the
was,
first album
yeah,
after
you can't-
that. I
you can
think
tune
is
the
like
piano.
okay, now and then I went backwards
Okay.
to pick that up. But
Got
yeah,
it.
I didn't pick it up. I was late to
I
the
think we
party
all
again.
went backwards on REO.
Yeah.
I actually liked their first album
Oh hell yeah!
very first album.
without Kevin Cronin. It's got 150. That's the
Oh,
original.
okay, with
157
Riverside Avenue.
But that album's not a bad album. It's actually, it was obviously recorded in the 70s. It's a good album. Well, you
Okay.
can't see, Mike? Need my
You
glasses?
know what? You're right. I'm having that. What about dummy? You? How come Stevie Ray Vaughan Live's not on your
Oh,
list?
I got it. That was
That was on
kind of.
here.
All right. Okay.
We talked about that.
And we talked about what, but still, that one there, it's another one that captures. Actually, I was early to the party on that. You guys came in a little bit late.
And you never let us forget that either. You're very
'Cause
good
I went and
about
seen
that.
him. Yeah, I
You're
went and
very
seen-
good about reminding us that we were late to the party.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I
Thank you
saw
for
him.
that. Thank you for that.
Sure, okay.
What did you see him?
I seen him at Royal Oak early.
I saw him at Pine Knob.
Pine Knob.
Shortly before.
I got kind of lucky because remember Joel? I mean, Joel loved him, so he would drag us every year to go see him at Pine Knob, and I kind of okay, that's fine.
I should.
So I saw him a lot more than I probably should have.
I should have
but-
went. I should have went and seen him at St. Andrews on the first album, but you guys wouldn't go. I should have said screw it and drove down by myself and seen him. Because on the first album he played St. Andrews, then he played Royal Oak.
sorry.
and he
Get
did-
over it, man.
No way, I'm not going to get.
Wow, he is
Let it
really
go.
holding on to this. He,
Paul Stanley
he
now.
hates it. He hates
Paul
it.
Stanley.
But
Look at
the
it. He's got a gripe against
But the
us.
thing that always that's
Wow.
about Stevie Ray Vaughan is when him and Jeff Beck were playing, when they did the tour, is doing the stuff off the Instep album, but that's not on the live album because the live album came out before that. But but Stevie Ray was just
Okay.
I can keep talking, but I'll let you guys kind of
No, you're good.
Okay.
All right.
We could do a whole show on Stevie Ray.
Oh, definitely I could.
Oh yeah, and that would be actually.
We'll do that one after the John Butcher one.
That'd be pretty
Okay.
fun. We could combine the two
Yeah, we could.
because they're
we-
both
that would be
musical
fun.
geniuses.
John, I need at least an hour for John.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Foghat Live.
That's another one
Another
that
one that
just
falls into the same.
it's just
category.
it's
What was it, like 4 songs on an album?
Then they did Fox.
It was one album.
Dang, I don't have a jam on them.
Yeah.
You don't,
Slow ride, 3/4
Yeah,
of the
it's
backside.
like, all right, Slow Ride is side 2, and we got a couple songs on the front. Yeah,
Why are you
just,
so
okay, yeah.
against the long song?
No, I'm not, but just some of that stuff was
It
just
just
like,
goes and goes.
Yeah.
That's like the Allman Brothers
but at least
album.
they
you know?
jammed. I mean,
Yeah,
the one
actually,
I was
that's
talking
another one.
about, like the
Live
Kiss
at
one,
the
it was
Fillmore from
mostly,
the
you know,
Allman Brothers.
you know,
Yeah.
just yappity yap stuff. But I mean, if it's just a jam, it's like, holy cow.
No,
it's
the one thing about
Wrap
because
it up, guys.
actually Foghat's got 2 live albums. They released the Foghat 2 with a bunch of new songs years later.
what would that have covered period wise?
Well, they covered a lot. They still had like "Fool for the Series" on there, but they did a version of "My
So like
Babe."
a 4
And they
record
did-
disc.
But no, the first album it's got "Honey Hush" on there.
Okay, yeah, that's
you know,
good.
and that's
Road
what, you know,
Fever. Yeah,
Road Fever.
yeah.
And I Just Want to Make Love to You.
Right.
I mean, that's that first album. Was
Right.
That was back when all the live albums were popular.
yeah,
Everybody was cutting a live
you do
album.
you do like 4 studio albums, and then you would do a live album, and it would
Yep.
That was
And
kinda like
and
the,
they were good. Now,
Well,
they
you know,
come
those
along.
are buffers. I mean, those guys are out on the road and stuff, and they got nothing.
yeah, you come to a point
management
where-
teams would throw them out on the road and stuff, and
Yeah,
they would
they-
just be working that album for so long. It's like, okay, do his album now. We got no material.
Right,
we haven't had a chance to sit down.
Right.
All right, we'll just throw it.
a
We'll
live
throw a
album
live album out there. Give you guys some time. Get your shit together. Then we'll go back out there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how that worked, and it worked for a lot of people really good.
Oh yeah, no. Plus, some of them had actually helped boost their
Right.
their career a little bit.
Now you could also tell too. Sometimes some of the live albums and stuff, like Journey Captures, you could tell those were like contract obligations. One where it's like, okay, we're signing with a new contract or a new company and stuff. We owe these guys, 2 more albums and stuff. Either we give them a greatest hits or a live album because they're cheap to produce and stuff. You could tell just by some of those, like, okay, this is put together
Yeah.
haphazardly.
Yeah.
He must have some inside people he knows.
I do,
Know all
yeah.
that stuff.
Anyway, no, I read a lot.
That's basic stuff. It's a lot cheaper
okay.
because you're not booking any studio time to put a new album out. Just live album. Just the time is
Yeah, all
to
you're doing
gather
is
them all up. Yeah.
stick them, plug into the soundboard and stuff, and then just fix up any messes from there.
And majority of the time, a lot of them live albums, they already know when they're going to be recording them because they're out recording most of that stuff on tour and then
Nowadays,
going back and then
nowadays,
going,
you
yeah.
don't even- it's all computerized. They
Yeah,
record
now it's
every
even
show.
easier because
Right, you
you're
just-
right. You can just sit there and just cut and paste everything.
Yeah, you
don't
just
even have to
put the
work-
put the audio card in and boom, and it
Yeah.
captures everything. and
fact,
You
it's done.
don't like this version? Okay, let's try the one in Chicago. Okay,
There was,
you don't
there,
like this one?
there
Let's
was a
try this
while
one
there.
over here.
Remember, there was that company. You'd go to the concert. You could buy the concert after the show.
Yeah, I remember hearing. Yeah,
Yes.
Instant Live, it was called, or
I
something.
remember going to a cowboy junkie
I got
show.
a couple of
and,
those
yeah.
at the end of some Allman Brothers they released.
Okay.
It sounded really good too. Yeah, they immediately had them right after the show available to people.
Why'd that die out? 'Cause I thought that was a great idea.
Probably because it probably was I can't believe they could burn them that quick to hand you a disc after the concert. It probably took some time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, but how long would it take? You guys burn discs and stuff. You get all the information right there. All I
10,000
got to do is
people
put the thing in there.
yeah, they'll probably
Say
try.
a
You're trying
quarter
to,
of them wanted it, or even not even it. I mean,
Right,
still
you
got,
probably-
I don't know how they
But I
did
mean,
it.
if you had to wait a half hour or something, would you wait?
If I really wanted it,
Yeah.
yeah.
as long as the beer sales are still going on. Yeah, all right,
Okay.
Some of them, like the Allman, I have one Allman Brothers. It was 3 discs.
yeah.
You know,
How much they charge you for that?
I bought them They ended up releasing some of them. So
Actually,
I bought them used at the used record
I
store.
picked up the Fillmore concerts because they did them over a span
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
I found this 5-disc
Yeah.
thing that spans. It's supposed to be the whole
Yeah.
handful of concerts of like one day they played two shows, one in the afternoon, one at night, and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are good.
But it's just
Those sounded good too. The old old mixes and all that kind of stuff. Those captured what was going on.
okay.
All right. About a good time for you to wrap it up. Sing us out,
So
Kurt.
we're gonna wrap it up for today.
Wrap it
Well,
up.
unless you guys got anything else.
Wrap it up.
Any pearls of wisdom?
Not really. Just
You don't have any pearls of wisdom?
no, just listen to
Do we
live
have
music.
any
Listen to
feedback
live
from
music.
a previous podcast from anybody?
Not right now. No, I haven't heard anything yet from anybody. I've checked and still nothing yet. So we're waiting for you. So if you'd like to make any comments on any of the shows, you can always email us at couplebeersandaconversation@gmail.com. or make a comment on the YouTube page if you'd like to do that. And thanks for listening. And listen, we'll be back with some future episodes shortly.
About John Butcher.
Yes, yeah, with some John Butcher, maybe.
Yeah,
we're not
that's
sure
gonna
about
get us a
that
lot of
yet.
years.
Okay.
Okay.
You might have to do a solo project on that one.
Okay, I'll do solo
He'll
show.
be doing his
Going
own
solo.
day.
I'm going solo.
You kind of go bowling, and you could do that.
I might be able to get him to come on.
Oh, you're right. 'Cause
No,
you guys
that
are
could be
tight.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're tight. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
No, we're
All
gonna we could have to travel where he's at, or well, you could probably pay for the travel, have him
No,
travel.
he'd
up
probably
there.
come.
Yeah, it's like you'll
By mistake.
Well,
or
you're
something.
not,
Yeah.
we're not paying. You're gonna have to pay. You're not gonna use the company credit card. You're gonna use your.
Do we have a company credit card? Nice. All right.
You guys.
We
laugh.
are moving up.
Talented guy, man. You don't. I'm not going to go there.
Okay. All right. Well, see you till we see you.
Yep, and
right.
produced by Zonal Productions, and recorded and engineered at Fredith Since Studio. And we are out.
That's it.
You can't leave now. Who's gonna water the plants?